Hi, I'm Claire from Inspiratrix Yoga. This class is about hibernating and slowing down. It's all about slowing down the breath, slowing down your awareness, slowing down movements to get into a restful internal space. Props-wise, today, if you have either a fat yoga block or a cushion that you can roll up, that would be great. Enjoy the class. Start lying down on your back with your knees bent, paying attention to your breath. Rest your hands on the belly so you can feel your belly rise and fall as you breathe. Lie either with your legs straight or with your knees bent and the soles of your feet on the floor. Let's work with a particular breath practice. You'll inhale as fully and completely as you can. Pause slightly. Exhale about halfway. Pause. And then exhale the rest of the way. So inhale as fully and completely as you can. Pause. Exhale halfway. Pause. And then exhale the rest of the way. Mini pause at the end. Repeating that pattern now. Allowing yourself to just feel the pauses. Anytime you get distracted, come back to that pattern of inhaling fully, pausing, exhaling about halfway, pausing, exhaling the rest of the way, pausing. Trusting in the pauses. Trusting in those moments of pause, moments of rest. And then let's change it somewhat. So we're going to split the exhale into 3 parts now. So inhale fully and completely. Mini pause. Exhale a third. Mini pause. Exhale another third. Mini pause, and then exhale the rest of the way. And then repeat that, splitting the exhale into 3 parts. Not introducing strain with these pauses, just very light pauses. Not like a forced holding the breath, just a light pause. And then if you want to take this a stage further, you could split your exhale into 4. However, if that would feel stressful, I want you to stick with splitting the exhale into 2 or 3. So inhaling fully, pause, exhale about a quarter, pause, another quarter, pause, another quarter, pause, and then exhale the rest. Playing for a few more rounds with some more of this breath pattern. You're interrupting the flow of the exhale. Then after that round, let go of this breathing practice. Let's come into a slow lying down twist. Take your arms out at right angles to the rest of you. Arms on the floor. Let's stay with this intention of being slow and hibernatory. So now, coming back to your regular yoga breath, I want you to slowly track your knees from side to side. Exploring how slowly can I do that? How slowly can I do this very simple twisting movement? Continuing to ease the knees from side to side. Within the range of movement that's comfortable for you. Really doing everything within the range of movement that's comfortable for you. Like super slow. Like you're a being for whom time flows differently. You know how elephants kind of can look very slow sometimes. I'm not sure if elephants actually are slow, but like you can imagine an elephant moving slowly and ponderously. Even in this simple twist. And then, next time the knees come back to the middle, let's do something slightly different. Bring your left knee towards the chest and then straighten out your right leg on the floor. Flexing your right foot. So the right leg is on the floor, but the right foot is flexed and you're pressing the right leg down into the floor. And then very slowly, keeping the right leg anchored down, make some movements with your left knee. You could hold onto the knee or you could even hold onto the thigh. Slowly drawing some circles in the air with your left knee. Going around one way and then going around the other way. Sort of massaging the back of the hips on the floor, nice and slowly. Like how much could you slow down this movement and then really feel into your hip joint, which is the area that the movement's coming from. And then change the legs over. Let that foot come back down to the floor. And then bend the right knee, bring the right knee in towards the chest. And then make the left leg really strong. Flex the foot so the left toes are pointed straight up to the ceiling. And press the whole of the left leg down into the floor. And then make some slow circling movements with the right knee. So you're moving the right knee in space so that the right hip socket gets this movement. Playing with doing that nice and slowly. Sometimes when you slow it, it's easier to tune into feelings and sensation. Okay, finish off with that side. Then bring both knees in towards your chest. And then roll all the way onto one side. Whatever side you want to roll onto. So come onto the side first. Yeah. And then can you come up from the side? So sitting up from the side. Coming into a seated position. Let's do a whole sequence with different leg movements. Let's start with the right leg out to the side, left foot in front of the groin. I'm doing this like I'm in a mirror. Cool. And we'll do like a twisty side bend first. Inhale and reach your right arm out to the side. Exhale, rotate a bit to your left, and then bring the hand down onto the leg. Inhale, reach the other arm out to the side. Exhale, reach that arm behind your back. So it's the left arm wrapping behind the back. And your fingers are reaching around as if they could grab onto your thigh. Inhale, expand the ribs. Exhale, soften your right ear towards the right shoulder. Feel for staying with a slow breath here. Sometimes I can really feel for slowing down time and slowing down my perception of time. It's through slowing down my breath. It will change what's happening in my nervous system, change what's happening in my brain. Okay, next position. Straighten your torso up, but keep the legs like this. And we'll do a chest opening stretch with the left arm. So inhale, take the left arm maybe a little bit higher than the shoulders, spread the fingers out. Exhale, take the arm back if that feels okay. If that feels at all stressful for the shoulders, you'll keep the arm more in line with the shoulder. If it feels like it's overstretching, don't take it so far. Inhale and make your collarbones wide. Exhale, spread out the fingers on both hands and also spread out your toes. And then even though your edges are active, have a slow breath in the middle. It's good. Yawning's good. Yawning feels like slowing down, definitely. Okay, bring the arm that's in the air down, and now bring this straight leg straight out in front of you. We'll do a twist next. Bring the sole of your left foot down. So right leg is straight, left foot is now on the floor. And we're going to twist. So holding onto the knee with both hands, inhale and slowly become tall. Exhale, slowly twist to your left. Take your left hand on the floor behind you. And either hold onto the knee with your hand, or hook your elbow around the knee, or hook your elbow over the knee, depending on what feels good in your body right now. Inhale, ground both sitting bones down into the floor. Exhale, connect to your core. Feel for lifting inside so you can be long in the torso here. Inhale and turn towards the front. Exhale and cross this bent leg over the other one into half knee pile. Bring the side of your left foot onto the floor. It's not the sole of the foot on the floor here. Inhale, make the feet active. Press your fingers into the floor and lift the crown of your head up. Exhale and come into a forward bend. Walking the hands forwards onto the legs or the floor. And then relaxing the head forwards. If your lower back feels uncomfortable here, come higher up so you're just more at an angle. So you're not at such a deep angle. Take some slow breaths, sending your breath all the way down to the hips and the lower back. You could relax the head forwards if that feels nice. or keep the head in more of a neutral, at more of a neutral angle. Make the feet active again by spreading the toes out. Okay, inhale and sit all the way back up. Exhale and uncross this leg. We're going to do all those 4 things on the other side. Take your left leg out to the side now. Bring your right heel in front of the groin. Settle evenly into your sitting bones. Inhale, reach your left arm out. Exhale, rotate a little around to your right, and so you can bring the hand down onto the leg. Inhale, take the other arm out to the side. Exhale, wrap that arm behind your back. So you're in this sort of bit of a side bend, bit of a twist. Inhale, expand and lift your ribs. Exhale, relax the left shoulder towards the left ear. Imagine if a bear was hibernating. It would still be breathing, but its breath would be very slow and very long. So feel for moving your breath in that direction. Where yes, you are breathing, and there's that awareness and that intention in the breath, but it's also a slow, long breath, all parts of the breath. Notice whether for you it's harder to lengthen the inhale or harder to lengthen the exhale. Like which feels more unusual. Okay, sit up and we'll move into chest opener now. Inhale, take your right arm out to the side. Exhale, taking the hand back if that feels okay in the shoulder, but very much keeping it at an angle that feels okay for the shoulder. Inhale, spread out all your fingers, spread out all your toes, so you're aware of your extremities. Exhale, soften any unnecessary tension around the shoulder area. Breathing like a hibernating bear. Okay, bring that arm down now that's in the air. And then we'll change the leg position. Bring your left leg so it's straight out in front of you. And then we did the twist. So bring the sole of this right foot onto the floor, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, slowly filling up with air, becoming long in your torso. Exhale, move into the twist. Right hand comes behind you. Twisting around to the side. Inhale and slowly fill up with air, expanding the side of your lungs, side of your ribs. Exhale, lightly draw the belly back, feeling for moving into this twist. Notice if there's any unnecessary straining in the shoulders. Let the shoulders soften. And notice your sitting bones. If you're more on one sitting bone than the other, can you equalize your weight between both sitting bones? Sometimes a few of you are leaning forwards. Lift the chest up slightly and lean backwards slightly. Okay, then we'll move on to the forward bend in half knee pile. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Have the side of the foot on the floor now. Inhale, make the feet active. Exhale, press your fingertips into the floor. Feel for almost slightly lifting yourself up away from the floor. So you're lengthening the lower back. Inhale, lift the chest forwards and up. Exhale, fold from your hips and take the hands onto the legs or the floor. Relaxing the head forwards if that feels good. Inhale, expand the back ribs and lower back. Exhale, softening the back ribs and lower back. Everybody make your feet and legs active. Slightly press them into the floor so the legs aren't just, the legs are part of what's going on here. All right, unwind, uncross the leg. Give everything a bit of a wobble. And then we'll come onto the hands and knees to do some leg slides, possibly leg lifts. If your mat is really sticky, you might prefer to do this with your feet on the carpet or on something slidey. Depends how your mat is. If your wrists feel really sore today, you could do these with the forearms on the floor. So feel free to take that as an option, but I'm going to demonstrate with the hands on the floor. So everybody come onto your hands and knees, or forearms and knees, for some leg slides. Let me do this with a specific breath pattern. Inhale and slide your left toes back along the floor, keeping your torso really stable. Exhale, connect to your core and let that help you slide the left knee back to where it was. Inhale, slide the right leg back, keeping the torso really, really, really stable. Exhale, using your core to help you slide that right foot back to where it was. Okay, good. So inhale, sliding the left leg back without dipping in the lower back. Exhale, feeling for the core connection as you bring the leg back. Inhale, slide the right leg back. Exhale, connecting to your core, sliding the knee back. This time, if you want to also lift the leg, you can, but I don't want you to go into a banana here. You're going to just lift the leg so it's level with the rest of the torso, and keep the torso really stable. So inhale, slide the left foot back, maybe lift it up so it's level with the hip flexor foot, not dropping in the belly. Exhale, working with your core, slide, bringing the left knee back to where it was. Inhale, slide the right leg back, lift it up so it's level with the hip. Exhale, bringing it back down. Keep going. Do say another 3 pairs. Being aware of keeping your torso really stable, because that gets the core to work. Moving nice and slowly with this. once you've done those 3 rounds, then transition onto your back. Have a cushion nearby. And we'll do some things with the cushion. So once you're done just making your way onto your back, let's take the cushion in between the thighs. And I want to move into abs with a roll, but we'll go into this in stages. Start with the head on the floor, feet on the floor, hands on your belly, and your rolled up cushion between the thighs. It wants to be reasonably thick. If it's a mini cushion or it's quite thin, you won't be able to get the action we're looking for. Okay. Inhale, sending breath down to the belly and hips. Hold your breath, squeeze your thighs onto the cushion. Exhale, pull your belly down. Inhale, relax the belly, send the breath down to the hips. Hold the breath, squeeze the thighs onto the cushion, curl your tailbone up away from the floor. Lower back is going to move towards the floor. Exhale, move the belly down towards the spine. Inhale, relaxing the belly and hips. Hold the breath, squeeze the thighs onto the prop, curl the tailbone up away from the floor. Exhale, move the belly down. Okay, now clasp your hands behind your head. And you can either continue doing this with the feet on the floor, or you could do this with your knees up off the floor and the knees bent. Or if you really want to, you could have the legs straight up in the air. But whatever leg position you're taking, the legs are going to stay stable in that position. The legs aren't really moving around here. Okay, so head is resting in your hands. Inhale, send the breath to the belly and the hips. Hold the breath, squeeze the thighs onto the prop, curl your tailbone up away from the floor. Knees are moving up towards the ceiling rather than in towards your chest. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up off the floor. Squeeze the prop again, move your lower belly down. Inhale, slowly bring the head and shoulders to the floor. Legs stay in the same place. Hold the breath, squeeze the thighs onto the prop, curl tailbone up. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up off the floor. Pull the lower belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come down to the floor slowly. Hold the breath, squeeze the prop, curl tailbone up. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up off the floor. Squeeze the prop, move the lower belly down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, head and shoulders down. Hold the breath, squeeze the cushion, curl tailbone up without moving the knees in. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up. Squeeze the cushion, move lower belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come down. Have your feet active. Spread the toes out. Squeeze onto the prop, curl tailbone up. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up. Pull the lower belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come back down to the floor. Exhale, rest the feet on the floor if they're not already. Remove your prop. Take one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, just lying on the floor. And take some slow, hibernatory, somnolent breaths. Exploring whether even when we're doing the active parts of the practice, we can still be playing with a sense of slowing down internally. Okay, roll onto one side now. We'll work with dolphin next. Come onto your hands and knees. For dolphin, I often roll up my top because otherwise my arms will slide around on the floor. But basically, you want your elbows on the floor a little bit narrower than your shoulders. One way to get that distance is to clasp your hands right around your triceps. That distance I've got now is a good one for my elbows. And then interlace the hands together in front. Now, watch your elbows. Make sure they don't slide out to the sides on the floor as you're doing this. Inhale, tuck the toes under and press the forearms into the floor. Exhale, lift your rib cage up away from the floor. Forearms are still pressing into the floor. Head can relax forward also. Option 1 is to keep your knees down here, just working this sense of lifting the rib cage up away from the floor. Notice how that changes what you feel in your shoulders. Option 2 is to also lift your knees up off the floor, coming into dolphin. Now at that point, don't collapse your weight forward into the head. Keep lifting up out of your ribs. You're moving your center of gravity and your weight towards your feet. So your center of gravity wants to come forwards, but actually you want to move your center of gravity towards the feet. Come down anytime you need to, otherwise stay here for a while. Check your elbow distance. It should be just narrower than shoulder distance. If your elbows have slid out to the side, you might need to come down and reset them. If you've got the knees up, lift the hips up and back towards the wall behind you. Okay, ease out of dolphin, bring the knees down to the floor. And then lift up and come up to a standing position. Maybe stepping 1 foot forward, coming all the way up. And then come into some micro tilts on the hips. Take your hands on the side of the hips to feel this. Inhale, stick your bottom back, move the tailbone backwards. Exhale, move the front of your pelvis, your pubic bone upwards towards your navel, and then the tailbone is going to go downwards. So inhale, tailbone's going backwards. The curve in the lower back will increase. Exhale, tailbone's going downwards, pubic bone moves upwards. The curve in the lower back is going to flatten. Playing with that movement really slowly. Have the feet active as well. So spreading and lifting the toes. Feeling for if you can get this subtle tilting movement at the pelvis. Some of you look like your hips are quite forward and it's quite hard to get the tilt. Take your hips back just a little bit. Feel if it's easier to get some movement there with the hips a bit further back towards the wall behind you. Okay. Step towards the front of your mat. We will do some slow half sun salutations with different poses mixed up in between. If any part of the sun salutations doesn't feel good for you, feel free to skip that movement and just catch up at a point where the pose or movement feels useful for you today. Inhale, come into chair pose. Take your hips back, arms forwards. Exhale into a forward bend, folding yourself over the thighs, relaxing the head forwards. Inhale and step your left leg back. Let's come into warrior 1. So keep your torso up, keep your back knee up. And let's start this off with the hands on the hips. Inhale, anchor down through your active feet. Exhale, connect to your core. Slightly roll the tailbone downwards. Do chest opener arms here. Take your elbows about the same height as your shoulders. Hands in front of the elbows. Hands atop the elbows. Can you still breathe? Breathe deeply and slowly, as if some part of you is still hibernating in the cave. Lengthening both the inhale and the exhale. Then bring both hands down to the floor, to the inside of your left foot. And we'll do Maine Coon cat stretch. For this, come up onto the toes of your back foot, and you'll probably need to move your right foot further back as well. Okay, you could do this with the knee down on the floor if that feels easiest right now, or you could lift your back knee up off the floor. And if you're having a flexible day, you might be able to bring your forearms down to the floor. If that doesn't work for your body though, stay on the hands. Still washing some slow breaths through you here. Okay, and then step back with your left foot and you'll come into a plank either with the knees up or the knees down. Inhale, feeling strong in plank. Exhale, bring your knees to the floor. Keep your core steady as you lower forwards and down all the way onto your belly. Bring your hands a little in front of the shoulders. Inhale up into a cobra. Exhale, come back down and reposition your hands a little bit closer to the chest and then come into downward facing dog. Or you could be on your hands and knees if downward facing dog doesn't feel good right now. Warrior one, inhale, step your right foot forward as far as you can. If it doesn't come very far forward, grab hold of your right hand with your right ankle, move it further forwards. Exhale, lift your torso up off the floor. Coming into warrior one. So you've got your right foot in front, right knee bent, left leg straight. And then we'll do a few rounds of bird wing. So slightly different arm position. Bring your elbows in next to the rib cage, hands in front. Inhale, spread the fingers out. Exhale, take your hands out to the side, squeeze the upper arms in next to the ribs. Inhale, hands come closer. Exhale, hands come out to the side, squeeze the upper arms in, squeeze the muscles at the back of the armpit. Do a few more. Keep the shoulder joints low down. The shoulder joints don't need to lift up for this. Then relax your arms and we'll set up for Maine Coon cat stretch. Bring the hands to the inside of your right foot and then step your left foot further back. So remember, you've got different options here. You could have the left knee down on the floor, or you could have the left knee up off the floor, or you might want to bring your forearms down to the floor. Doing whatever part of that feels useful right now. Continuing to connect to your slow, deep, hibernatory breath. So choosing to breathe from quite a slowed down place and noticing how that affects the rest of you. Okay, then bring your left knee to the floor, step your right foot back. Inhale and come into a plank, either with the knees down or up. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down onto your belly on the floor. Bring the hands a little further forward from the shoulders. Inhale up into a mini cobra, lifting the chest away from the floor. Exhale, come back down. Bring your hands a little closer to the chest and then come into a downward facing dog or onto your hands and knees. Now take a giant step forward with your left foot. Stand all the way up. And this time we're going to set up for Warrior Two. Warrior Two's got a long distance between the feet. So this time you actually want to orientate so you're facing towards the long side of the mat. So facing that way if you're in this room. I'm going to stay facing towards the camera. And then you're bending your left knee and having the right leg straight. So left knee bends, so the knee's over the ankle. Great, and then we'll do extended warrior variation here. Inhale and bring your left forearm down onto the thigh. Exhale, wrap your right arm behind your back. So there's a bit of a twist happening in the spine here. You could roll the right-hand side of your rib cage back. Perhaps even feel for slightly leaning back in space. So you can imagine your chest turning up towards the ceiling rather than turning down towards the floor. Now inhale and come back to Warrior Two with the arms out to the sides. The left knee stays bent. Left arm up is arm up, right arm is down. Yes. So it's going the other way to what we just did a moment ago. Okay, now bring both arms down and let's just switch straight to doing the other side of these. Change your legs around the opposite way. So still facing the same side of the room. Well, it's up to you. But this time you want your right toes to turn out, left toes to turn in, and then bend the right knee. So do the opposite thing with the legs. Great. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, come first into extended warrior variation. The right arm is coming down onto the leg, left arm is coming back, around the back. Yeah, you can wrap the left arm around your back. That can be quite nice. So the left arm is going behind your lower back, maybe behind the kidneys. Inhale slowly into your back ribs and your kidneys. Exhale, soften your neck and your throat. Okay, inhale and come back to Warrior One with the arms out to the side. Exhale, we'll go to the other side into reverse warrior. Legs stay the same though. Take your left hand down onto the leg, right arm up in the air. If the shoulder feels uncomfortable, you could take the arm to a different angle. Maybe not so close to the head. With your head here, if you kind of look straight ahead, but maybe just relax the left ear towards the left shoulder. Everybody straighten out your top arm a bit. Spread the fingers out too. Okay, inhale and bring your arms back so they're level. Exhale, take both hands to the floor in front of your right foot. And then step back into a downward facing dog or onto your hands and knees. And then wiggle your hips and wiggle your shoulders. It's wiggling from side to side, moving your hips and shoulders in space. And then if you're not already, bend your knees, bring the knees down to the floor. Come into a seated position. To do a slightly different twist now. Let's say have the right leg straight out in front of you, and then cross the left leg over this time. Let's do this the other way around. So right leg straight, left leg crossed over. Inhale, lift the crown of the head up. Exhale, rotate your ribs to the left. Take your left hand on the floor behind you. And keep holding onto the knee with the right hand. Now if you're twisting in the neck, I want you to untwist in the neck so your nose is in line with the chest. So to focus on more of the rest of the spine lifting. Inhale, expand and lift your ribs. Exhale, explore whether you can twist the whole rib cage around, resisting the temptation to do all the work with your neck. In fact, everybody keep the nose in line with the center of your chest, and then take the back of your head back in space slightly, almost like moving your chin like inwards towards the spine, so that the head's really balanced on the rest of the spine and not pushing forward, so not pushing the chin forwards. It's almost like bringing the chin back, so the back of the neck can lengthen. Okay, change around, turn to the front, cross your legs over the other way with the left leg straight, right leg crossed over the front. Inhale, get really long in your spine. In a slow way, come into the twist, taking the right hand behind you. Holding onto the left knee, however works for you right now. Again, being aware of your head, if your chin is jutting forwards, tuck the chin in, lift the back of the head up. So your neck's not doing all the work. And then come out of this twist, uncross your leg, and we'll come onto the back. We're going to do one breathing exercise on the back before going into some rest. If you know that you want any extra clothing or blankets, anything like that, go sort that out now. Come into a position on your back with both knees in towards your chest. And I want you to hold onto your right knee with your right hand and your left knee with your left hand. So you're holding onto the knees. And if for some reason this doesn't work, you could do this with the feet on the floor and just visualize the movement instead. Okay. Now focus on your belly and the sense of your breath at the belly. Inhale, expanding your breath at your belly. And let your knees move away from the chest, just a small amount. As you exhale, and the belly moves downwards towards the floor, then pull the knees towards the chest. Not big movements with this, just small movements. This is more about the breath than the movement. So on the inhale, the belly comes out, knees move away from chest. On the exhale, the belly drops back, and the knees move towards your chest. Continuing in that pattern, perhaps with the eyes closed, if that feels comfortable, to be in this experience of your breath. Perhaps playing with that edge of slowness. How slow could I make this movement? How much can I slow it down and still be in this really deep connection to my breath? Do 2 more really slow rounds, and then after that, settle into your preferred resting position. So however you like to rest at the end of class, whether that's on your back with your knees bent or your legs straight. Letting your eyes close, letting yourself settle into rest. Taking yourself into a space of hibernation, just for the next 2-3 minutes. Imagine slowing down to the pace of winter, drawing everything inwards, where your life is just very sleepy and internal. Your life force concentrated right in the middle of you. Allowing everything on the outside to soften and fade into the background. Finding a resting place in your inside of you, in your own interiority. In a deep inside space. The space is deeply about resting and recharging. Allowing your body's natural processes of renewal and healing to work. And then when it's time for you to wake up, start with some small movements. Maybe your fingers or toes. Or having a wriggle or a yawn. Recognizing you can cycle between slowness and fastness through your day. You don't have to be slow all the time. We're not like bears. We don't go into hibernation for months and months. So allowing yourself to make some bigger movements now, coming back to awakeness, or enough awakeness to do whatever you need to do next. And then eventually rolling onto one side and sitting up. So thank you for joining me for class today, exploring hibernation. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to do some yoga with you again very soon. There are lots of ways that you can join in other yoga classes with me. There are a few classes out there for free on YouTube. And then I have a monthly membership program called All the Yogas, and that gets you access to several live classes a week that you can join on Zoom, or if you happen to live near to me, you can come and join me in person. Either of those is good. And we also have the Virtual Yoga Vault, which is a massive library of recorded classes, some long, some short, that you can do any time of day or night to suit you. So come and practice with me again soon. Bye-bye for now.